Hi, John Mike, brew-yeast.com, and we're drinking Vienna Lager. That was kind of klutzy, I don't care. We're drinking Vienna Lager, and this is a special version of Vienna Lager tasting. How many have we done?
Vienna Lager? Oh, at least 3.
3. This is number 3, huh?
I'm thinking this might be 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So this, I just got the word back that this won a silver medal in the Masters Championship of Amateur Brewing competition that was just held last weekend. So this particular beer has won first place in the New England Regional Homebrewing Competition for European Amber Lagers, and now has finally won a national award. So, cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Hey, cheers. All right, cool. So, we can talk more about what's in this. This is a little bit different than what I put together last year. One of the big things that came back on the national score sheet was that the judge told me that the malt tasted stale, old, and I could see that. And I chalked that up to a couple things. One, I used to get malt pre-milled, pre-crushed,
yeah,
and then sent to me. But I solved that problem by actually buying a grain mill. So that was one thing. And two, I think I actually went to a place where I knew the grain was fresh, that it was a good turnover. So did the best I could on that front. And I just tweaked the recipe a little bit. One was just upping the amounts of Munich and Pilsner malt in this. And then decided to play around with some of the yeast. Had used White Lab's German lager yeast. I think that's WLP 830. But this time around, I think I bought 3 vials. One was like the Southern German lager yeast. Another was an Octoberfest, and I think I might have gotten 2 of the, and then got an 830 as well, just to kind of hedge my bets. So instead of making a starter, I just got 3 different vials or packets of yeast and just let it do its magic. The one con about this, to get this beer ready for competition, I only had time to lager it for a month. So this will probably get a little bit better with more time in the fridge and the bottle and stuff. But did okay. It did okay, knowing that I only had maybe 2 months to turn it around. So there you go. That's what I have to say about this.
So this is a Pilsner or Munich malt?
And mostly Vienna, though.
Mostly Vienna.
Mostly Vienna.
Do you remember so is it just those 3?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the rough percentages?
I'd say that it's, I think it was 60% Vienna, 20% Munich, 20% Pilsner. But in another formulation of that recipe was 80 Vienna, 10 Munich, and Pilsner, respectively. So, but I just wanted to get a little more maltiness. That Munich.
That's definitely what the Munich does, right? Yeah. The color is beautiful. It's like dark orange, like a deeper orange, almost mahogany. It's getting there. It's not that dark, but definitely lighter than like a Dunkel.
Yeah.
And it's actually fairly clear for only having lagered for a short period of time, which I don't think is terribly important, to be honest with you, because I've made lagers and chilled them down just long enough to get the drop clear, and they taste great.
Yeah.
So this idea of long lagering, I think, might be a holdover from home brewers trying to make these styles with weak yeast, right? But
Possibly.
now fresh yeast is like right at our fingertips. I mean, you even just did this without a starter and two pitches of vials, and off you go. I think it's just a testament to ingredient quality.
And one note on just the attenuation of that. This finished 2 points lower than the one that I brewed last year. Or
it could be a little bit less Munich per se than before too, holding it up a couple points, right? So or 60%. You said 80%.
Yeah, there's more Munich in this.
That's amazing. That's great.
So I think that to get more attenuation out of those yeasts, I don't have a bottle from last year to compare.
Yep.
But was really trying to get as dry as possible.
Yeah.
And to see that measurement on my hydrometer was a good thing. So.
It is over the top malty. I mean, it is a kick in the palate, right?
Yeah.
Malty. It is super rich. There's a lot of like melanoid in there. There's a lot of lightly browned bread in it, almost like the surface of a soft pretzel type of taste, or like a nice bagel, like a really great deli bagel, like just that crust flavor. It's great. It's chewy almost. The hops are like, I didn't even really detect the hops in there. There's enough in there to balance it, but the hops are just back there doing their thing.
Yeah, it's funny, and that's I use Hallertauer, and I actually use a little bit more at the end, so that there'd be some detectable aroma. But it's all kind of.
I think it's a shock. I think it's a shock on the
malt.
palate to be sitting here doing a tasting video on something so insanely malt forward. After the last 6 videos, we've been doing nothing but hoppy beers, and I have to admit. Even when I've gone out lately, I've been drinking IPAs.
Yep.
I don't know what's gotten into me, but it's like a real slap in the face to come back to a big malty beer.
Malty brew.
But it's dry though. I mean, it's attenuated nicely, so it's got a good finish, a good clean finish. But the malt character is just really warming and inviting, and it's just super rich. I'd put this as a nice spring beer. This is good for right now. It's a good timing brewing it. I know you're brewing for the competition, but it's the right time of year, I think, to be getting into this kind of a transition beer.
Yeah, I think I could see this being brewed like maybe like November, and then if you just lager it and hold off for that first nice break of spring, this would be a good one. So
Yeah, it's really round on the palate. It's beautiful. It's great. Carbonation's nice too. I mean, that foam head retention's nice. I mean, it's sticking to the side of the glass,
So maybe I'll throw up the recipe as part of the YouTube description. I can at least just give you percentages on what the malt was, and
I like percentages.
Yeah, you like percentages.
I like doing
and
this
you can,
percentage.
And then you can translate it to whatever batch size.
Whatever
you
your
want
system is, batch size, absolutely.
Right on, right on.
These all German malts? German Pilsner, German Munich, German Vienna?
As far as I know.
As far as you know, yeah. Sometimes you've got to ask. It's tough. Some places we shop at, they don't actually put the...
I mean, the brand names were German.
Oh, that's good enough. That's good enough.
I don't know.
All right.
They could have switched it on me. It's all a big conspiracy, I'm sure. All right, thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. For John and Mike, brew-dudes.com. Brew on, and cheers.